Hey y'all. After this week started off with a bunch of Barbie releases that we saw pop up online that were fairly unremarkable, today Mattel dropped the bombshell of a new Barbie Playline release featuring a stereotypical Barbie with a face that is quite familiar to us, and she's looking fairly pretty, I must say, because she's featuring the Barbie Odile face sculpt. Now, this year saw the release of the new Barbie Gala collection, and this pink premiere doll also has a very similar looking face to the Playline doll that we have now. As someone who is solely interested in Barbie fashion play, this Playline release that features a couple of accessory pieces as well as outfit pieces is one where I'm gravitating towards. And I think I've unboxed a couple of those sets on my channel as well over the years, so I would have been looking forward to a release of such a set nonetheless, but seeing how they are now using the Odile face sculpt for this stereotypical blonde Barbie is quite an event, because it makes us think whether or not this is going to be the transition into her becoming the main face of Barbie. Now, after the release of the Dreamtopia mermaids featuring the same face, I had heard rumblings about how Mattel wants to prevent or prohibit the Odile face to be used in Playline again, so it's quite surprising to me to see this release, because I would have not expected this to happen. I fear that Mattel might have not wanted to have this face in Playline to keep it strictly collector, so that collectors will also be catered towards, similar to how they are not really wanting to use the Steffi face in Playline anymore. But I suspect that the sales of the Dreamtopia mermaids featuring that face were so good that Mattel might have scrapped those plans. There must have been something going on that made them decide to use this face again for Playline, which makes us all quite happy, I must say. There have been other releases that we saw pop up online this week. Among them, a new wave of Barbie pop reveal dolls in a new series that is shake themed, I guess. Now, those dolls look fairly unremarkable. I'm over the whole reveal gimmick. I'm not sure whether the sales of those dolls are so good that they warrant them to be released over and over again in different iterations, or if just focus group testing made Mattel to decide to release this type of reveal doll again. It's funny that the best thing about these reveal dolls seems to be the shoes. Now, the previous Boba themed pop reveal dolls featured a doll with a very cute pair of shoes that were inspired by a pair of Versace heels. Now, this new wave also features the Millie wearing a very cute pair of pink go-go boots that seem to also be inspired by a pair of Versace shoes. So I guess someone on the design team must have been having a bit of a Versace moment lately to feature them again. But I'm not going to be buying a whole doll just for a pair of shoes. I guess I have to wait for them to pop up on flea markets, so I would be lucky enough to get them, because I'm not going to be paying full price, because it's quite wasteful to just buy this whole doll for a pair of shoes and then donate the doll. I guess if you're into fantasy head Barbie dolls, you might be into them to use them for a rebody project. I think the only one of those dolls that I kind of like is the one that has a blue and pink color scheme, because that's a color scheme that I personally gravitate towards. Now, the Millie with the pea green strands of hair looks not very pretty, and the face also seems like she's tinted green in a way that reminds me of those Barbies from the 2000s, when Mattel used to have some kind of manufacturing error and manufacturing problem where the dye of the hair kind of transferred into the vinyl on the head, so the head would have been discolored compared to the body. Another fairly unremarkable release that popped up online was some kind of Barbie scientist playset. Now, we've seen playsets like this over and over again, and I guess they seem to have some sort of place in the Barbie aisles, but they just look bottom barrel, very cheaply made, very. There's nothing about them where you could say, oh my god, they really pulled out all the stops to make this a very good release, because the clothing that you see on the doll is just absolutely atrociously made. They seem to reuse the fabric that they used on the Made to Move yoga dolls from the previous wave, and the lab coat that the scientist doll is wearing is also very badly made. Mattel wants to position Barbie as sort of the cheaper budget alternative fashion doll to Monster High, which seems to be the more higher priced, more well made and well constructed fashion doll that they have as part of their portfolio. And Barbies also seem to be made for a younger audience compared to Monster High dolls. I guess right now on the shelves, the only Barbie line that we have that seems to be catered towards maybe more older tween audience are the Dream Besties. And while I wasn't initially all that into them, I have kind of come around them. I kind of like the Besties, and I think that they really pop when you take them and restyle them. I think the Dream Besties are super cute and they're very high quality. They have beautiful, long and very thick saran hair. They do not have any kind of pixelation. The faces are super cute. They have articulation, and even though I restart them by not using a single article of clothing that they originally came with, or a single accessory piece that they originally came with, I think that the ones that they do come with are also very cute. So I'm happy to see that we have a release that is more fashion focused, that looks very well made, in a sense that, at least from the neck up, it's a super beautiful doll. So to see Barbie release a fashion-focused set with a very pretty doll is something that I'm really looking forward to, and this fashion play set with a new odile face is super cute. And you can see that they use the artwork that they have now used for the stereotypical Barbie over the past 2 years for the set. So is this an official confirmation that moving forward this is going to be the new face for stereotypical Barbie? Who knows? I would love to think it is, but I'm cautious to have high hopes, because being a Barbie fan nowadays is akin to being a glutton for punishment. I think you have to be a masochist to be a Barbie collector in the year of 2024, but that's where we're at. Now, the fashion pieces in this playset are par for the course of Barbie Playland releases in 2024. The pink blazer jacket is cute. The silver skirt with a ruffle in the middle is cute. Now, the purple dress with the silver metallic dots on it and the ruffle diagonal over the bust area is what it is. It's not really the most fashionable thing, but it's at least not as hideous looking as the graffiti print t-shirt dress that looks a lot like something that we have seen on a Barbie fashionista. Now to see that on a Barbie sporting the odile face is kind of excruciating to witness. A couple of the accessory pieces in the set are of course reused from previous accessory molds that Barbie has put out. The bag has been used a dozen of times. Now the pair of purple heels that the Barbie doll is wearing are also used on, I think, the Black Barbie tribute fashionista. She had a red version of those heels. Now there seems to be a different version manufactured when it comes to those transparent pink boots. Now the promo shots seem to use a version with a spiked heel. That's the mold that we also saw on the Barbie Extra with the rainbow fur coat. But the manufactured version actually has a chunky heel instead of a spiked heel, and I personally prefer that chunky heel. That looked much cuter, so I'm fairly hopeful that that's the version that we're getting, because it's part of the manufactured promo shot. The black sunglasses, the love necklace, the bow-shaped purse, those also seem to be all reprints, though I'm not so sure about the bow-shaped purse. Maybe that's first that we see that version. But generally those sets are sets that, while they do come with a lot of stuff and they do come with a doll, they're fairly priced, like they're very mid-range. The pricing is somewhere between $19, like around that price point, because you end up with one doll featuring 3 whole outfits and accessories. So you basically get 3 complete looks, fashion packs, and a doll, which is good for a doll that's somewhere between the $15 to $19 price range. Now we have no idea when this doll will come out. We have no idea what the official MSRP of this doll is, and whether this doll is going to be a retail exclusive. No idea, because I think the previous Barbie fashion play set, at least in Europe, that I unboxed here was a Smith's Toys exclusive. So who knows, and maybe this one is also going to be Smith's Toys exclusive here in Europe. But yeah, I guess you have to set your eyes on a release date in 2025, early 2025, maybe around spring. I guess around that time frame is when we're going to be getting that doll. The face up on this doll is very cute, and as I had said, it's very reminiscent of this pink Premier Odile that we have gotten. I haven't unboxed this one because I want to keep her in box because she's so gorgeous. Maybe I'll end up getting a second one. I'm going to be taken out of the box. But and the promo shots feature a very cute face up, but I guess that face up is hand painted. You can see it on the lips. The lips look like they're hand painted. They're a little smudgy, like you can kind of guess the brush strokes. And the eyes as well as the brows seem to not be pixelated. So who knows? Maybe this doll is not going to be pixelated. Not going to keep my hopes up, as I had said. The version that we see in those promo shots is a hand-painted prototype, and we've seen the difference between a manufactured doll and a prototype. So yeah, that one can be quite stark, so I'm not going to be having high hopes, but I always love to be pleasantly surprised. So that about wraps up what I wanted to share in this video, because it's always very exciting to see stuff like this pop up, and I don't know, sometimes you just feel like Barbie, there might be hope for you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you thought this video was trash, leave a dislike. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'll be seeing you in my next video. So, bye for now.